Hey guys, what's up? It's Finch here, and today we're going to be discussing the Sword and Shield tier changes for the month of January. That means that this is going off of the statistics from the last 2 weeks of December of 2020. So now that we're in 2021, this is the last little parting gift that 2020 is giving to us. Make of that what you will, but here I am to present you guys with these changes and give some explanations as to maybe why these happened or what impacts these Pokemon might have on their new metagames, if they might be too good or if they might not be good enough and they might drop down even further. So without further ado, let's get into it. Actually, I lied. Without further ado, I just want to say, yesterday I briefly posted a channel update video. Unfortunately, I had to delete it for a reason that I can't be disclosing here, but the contents of the video, and I'm going to also include that in a channel comment later, but basically, I'm not going to be super active from the 3rd of January until the 10th of January, because Smogon Premier League's draft is on Sunday, and I'll be working on a power rankings article for the next week, which is super time occupying, time heavy, So basically, I'm going to be focusing a lot on that after work and whatnot, but I'm still going to get my Shifu laddering up in the meantime. In addition, with SPL around the corner, there's going to be a lot of OU tournament action, so I'm going to try and make Tournament Tuesday a regular fixture on the channel, starting maybe not next Tuesday, but the Tuesday after that. In addition to that, Metagame Monday is here to stay. It's not going to be an every week thing again, but it's still going to be there to stay. But we got our early week lineup kind of set most weeks. And finally, in the month of February, I'm going to be raising money for mental health awareness. And I'm going to be posting a video on that on either February 1st or February 2nd when I have time. Basically explaining what's going to happen is, but all the money that the channel raises in the month of February is going to go towards that. In addition, if people donate and can show me proof and all of like a little thing set up for that, then they can go ahead and let me know that they've donated to it. I'll leave a link to the description of all the videos, and I will do a live with any Pokemon they want and any tier they want because of that. So yeah, I feel like we're going to be doing a really great thing with the channel in February that I'm super excited about, and we have a lot of fun stuff to look forward to in the meantime as well, but I'm not going to be super active for the week between the 3rd and the 10th of January, so just a heads up now. Anyway, let's get into these tier changes before I ramble on and on anymore, because I don't know about you guys, but personally, Finch rambles for 50 minutes video is not the most appealing thing. However, a Finch talks about the tier changes for January video. Now that's where it's at. That's it right there. So let's talk about what Pokemon rose up in tiers. So first off, OU is getting 2 Pokemon, both Pokemon that previously resided in the metagame, but ultimately dropped due to usage at some point in the last month or so. Zapdos Galar has been flirting with UU, then UUBL, and now it's back to OU. So what happened was, it just didn't ever gain much traction in the OU metagame, so it fell to UU, and then eventually there it got voted to be banned in UU via Council Quick Ban vote. And finally, after being voted to UBL, OU players were like, you know what, let's give this thing a shot, and I guess they thought it was okay. Personally, I'm still pretty low on Zapdos Galar. It has the inability to break through defensive cores, and it's not fast enough or bulky enough to really have a long-term presence. It's good for maybe getting a kill in some games and taking advantage of defog on hyper-offensive teams, specifically on sticky whip teams, as Defiant is a very appreciated ability to have on those teams. However, that's really all there is to it. And unfortunately, Zapdos Galar is going to be kind of stuck in this fringe. I feel like it might end up seeing 4 to 5% usage for the foreseeable future, which kind of leaves it in between UUBL, OU, and maybe it'll go back and forth a bit, but I don't think it's ever going to be like a top tier or a mainstay Pokemon, but hey, I've been wrong before. I've been wrong so many times before, so maybe I'm wrong. Hopefully I am, but if not, then I wouldn't really be too sure of how long Zapdos Galar will stay in OU. Next up, we have Reggie Leakey. Reggie Leakey has been infamous for forcing ground types on the team's electric minis, but truth be told, good team building kind of had that regardless. Things like Specs Magearna, Magnezone really mandating that type of defensive structuring in the metagame. So it's not like it's really a novel concept, but rather one that has been reinforced to a greater extent now. As for Reggie Leakey itself, it's really only good for the screen set because of that, which, truth be told, more often than not, only running Explosion as its attacking move. At least that lures some damage on the ground types, gets screens, and sets up for hyper offense. The thing is, it faces very stiff competition from things like Tapu Koko, especially because Tapu Koko presents Electric Terrain, which helps other electric types and electric type attackers as well, but also can set things like Hawlucha up, which Reggie Leakey cannot do itself. So all in all, you have to be careful, but I do believe that Reggie Leakey has a slight niche as an alternative screen setter, but I think the more offensively geared sets are better off for lower tiers. I don't know if it would have been broken in EU. My guess is that it wouldn't have been because you have a lot of viable electric communities, but regardless of that fact, it's interesting to see it back in OU. I don't know if it'll last though. As for UU itself, it actually gained a couple of tools. The first of them being Kyurem, a Pokemon that somehow went to RU initially and then got banned there decisively, unsurprisingly. I covered that in a video a couple weeks back, but finally, it rose to UV usage. UU players have smartened up and began using Kyurem, which is unsurprising. Be it Specs or Dragon Dance sets or anything in between, Kyurem is a devastating presence in the underused metagame, and it's undoubtedly one of the stronger Pokemon that you can encounter there. So, yeah, I'm glad to see it finally be UU. Once more. In addition, Quagsire has risen all the way up from the PU tier to the underused metagame. Quagsire being mainly there as an unaware presence on bulkier teams, which can definitely kind of stop some setup options in the tracker. With things like Kyurem and Tapu Bulu in the metagame, it definitely is not a foolproof option against all setups, to say the least. So yeah. We're moving down, all the way down in NU borderline. Pokemon that have been banned from NU, Nicholas, Heracross, and Slowbro Galar all rose up back to the rarely used metagame via usage, unsurprisingly. Nicholas is great with either a Generator or Magic Guard, with a ton of offensive options and a great defensive presence as well. Heracross, be it with Scarf Moxie, be it with Flame Orb Guts, or whatever else it might have you, it has a great deal of attacks, it hits very hard, and it definitely is going to pack a punch in the rarely used metagame. And finally, Slowbro Galar, great defensive presence with a ton of options, be it Assault Vest, Combine, Nasty Plot, etc. It's great. Even the Quick Draw set has some niche meme value as well, so it'll be interesting to see. RU also took a couple Pokemon from NU itself, those Pokemon being Milotic, which was a great defensive pivot as a bulky water type, Noivern, which has been a fixture in RU for a while now, even was very good in UU earlier this generation, unsurprisingly, so it's going to be a great pivot. Boots really benefit it, so it'll be cool. And finally, Porygon 2, everyone's favorite bulky duck. It's not quite a sitting duck either, as now it has access to some status moves, as well as Teleport to really set the tempo for more offensive options. Perhaps we'll see things like Porygon 2 used alongside Heracross to help it get in safely. We'll have to wait and see, but personally, I am very, very excited about all three of these additions to the rarely used metagame, and in addition to that, the three before from Never Used Borderline. So, in conclusion, that's going to be a really interesting development for RU. NU actually gained a couple Pokemon themselves from PU, which is unfortunate because PU got shafted a ton last time, and now it's going to see, as you see in a minute, ZU is going to get shafted this time. But so PU gained Golurk, Sigilyph, and Vileplume. As for Golurk, Sigilyph, and Vileplume, Vileplume's already been really good in NU for a while now, ever since it's dropped, so that's not surprising. Sigilyph is arguably broken in NU, like it's one of the top 5 to 10 Pokemon in my opinion, so I'm not sure how it dropped the PU. I think it was just it was a mess for a little bit, but I'm glad that's kind of rebounded. And finally, Golurk, it's going to be a strong ground type, but it's not going to really be like something that stands out a ton in my opinion, so we'll have to wait and see how that does. Finally, Pinkerton has risen from ZU to PU, which is cool, giving Electric Train, some spikes, whatnot. It'll be interesting to see how that fares. Now, as usual, as you guys have seen from how these videos go, there's always one tier that gets completely shafted, and this time around it might be the biggest shaft of them all. ZU has gained what seems like a dozen rows of Pokemon. They've gained over half of the Silvally forms. They've gained a ton of Pokemon that we've seen even have success in higher tiers, things like Abomastel, Faggoricus, Alolan Executor, Garbodor, Kangaskhan, I mean, Jellicent, things that, Jellicent was once upon a time an OU Pokemon in Generation 5, believe it or not. I mean, it's crazy that we're seeing this, but I'm going to go through most of these Pokemon, but I just want to touch on the other drops first. So, Underused could not quite make use of Incineroar, which is funny because Incineroar is one of the best Pokemon, or Magnezone. So, both those Pokemon fell to RU. I think Magnezone is going to be absolutely ridiculously challenging to switch into for RU. We might see things like Stunfisk and Stunfisk Galar come around to just keep it in check. We'll have to wait and see if those Pokemon serve in usage or not. Steelix might be able to help a little bit as well, but it doesn't really love taking analytic boosted flash counters either. As for NU, again, Drapion, which is super duper cool in my opinion. Unfortunately, though, it also gained Torkoal, and Torkoal is really useless because Drought Span. So that'll eventually find its way down to ZU if I had to guess, unless OU takes it by usage again. Maybe I'll have to make a Sun Live and see if that can happen. We'll have to wait and see. But that aside, Drapion is a great Pokemon. It's going to be good in NU. While it does lack Pursuit, it has good other options like Knockoff, Swords Dance, Earthquake, Poison Jab, Toxic Spikes, Whirlwind, Taunt, etc. So it'll be interesting to see how that functions either offensively or defensively. I'm really excited for that in a new metagame. It's going to be great to have another Ghost Resist and also a Psychic Immunity. It's going to be good for checking things like Decidueye and also Delmise. So I'm really excited for Drapion to be in the metagame. It also is fast and soaks up Toxic Spikes. So yeah, really, it checks off a lot of things on my bucket list. I'm really excited for this one. This is probably like the drop I'm the happiest about. Some Pokemon that didn't quite gain enough traction in PU, but have already been banned to ZU, Ludicolo, what looks like Silvally Electric, and Thwackey, I believe. Unfortunately, they haven't really surfaced much in PU, so they're in ZU Borderline now. However, I'd imagine that they get retested with all these other Pokemon dropping, so it might just be the lucky day for these three. But Pokemon that are for sure going to be in the ZU metagame. Oh my, oh my. You guys can see everything here. I'm gonna scroll down a little bit. Yeah, you don't need to see Vikavolt and Wishiwashi. You know that Vikavolt and Wishiwashi are even further down. Okay. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 full rows and two partial rows of Command 1. So we have 11 rows of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's north of 100 Pokemon went from PU to ZU. So basically, of the fully evolved Pokemon and the handful of not fully evolved Pokemon that are good, for example, things like Clefairy and Sneasel and Tangela and Piloswine, those types, Haunter. Good. Okay, so there are a lot of NFVs. So of the pool of Pokemon that are deemed viable in competitive tiers, this is like probably over a quarter or over a third of them. I mean, this is ludicrous. Seeing something of this magnitude all dropping to one tier at one time, Pokemon that have never been in this tier before this generation for the most part, maybe a handful, but yeah. This basically is the new ZU metagame. So giving any commentary on what these Pokemon will do against the previously existing metagame is silly because the previously existing metagame no longer exists. It completely ceases to exist. All of those conventions. If you want to take up ZU, now is the time. Start playing ZU. Start using these Pokemon. Figuring out what they do best, what is broken, what is not. Now is the time, guys, because this is totally revamping the metagame. Like, okay, we saw the big drops to UU, the big drops to RU, then NU, then PU, but at least they had some previous infrastructure that sort of held strong from time to time because they maybe only gained 40 or 50 Pokemon, or they had strong norms as is with ZU. Not only is ZU kind of the Wild West as is, no offense to ZU players, you guys got a good growing community, I really respect that, but the thing is that it didn't really have much of a strong focus quite yet. It had some centralizing points, but it wasn't really as defined as other lower tiers, especially because the DLCs kept shafting it like this, and now getting this many Pokemon, it's just completely redefining it. Like ZU of old is ZU no more, is what I'm trying to say. So basically, for me to go through every single one of these Pokemon and explain what they could do in the metagame would be silly because the metagame doesn't exist. So rather than that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, look, there are 100 plus Pokemon that just fell to ZU. If you want to see more about ZU or hear more about ZU, A, like the video, and B, comment right now that you want to see me play ZU and say which Pokemon you want to see me use. And I'm going to try either sometime after the first wave of bans or sometime after my week off, the 3rd to 10th where I'm not as active. I'm going to do a ZU live if I can. And it's going to be cool because we're using some badass Pokemon you like seeing in higher tiers. And since I'm not going through every single one of these Pokemon, I'm going to go through the highlights, the Pokemon that are like, holy crap, they're ZU, they have so much potential, that's wild. So, the first one to me is Faggoricus. Faggoricus is really, really bulky, body press is amazing for it. It was borderline broken in NU for the longest time, and seeing it in ZU is just ridiculous to me. Next one's going to be Drampa. Drampa is a Pokemon that hits as hard as Sprucebeck's Latios. I mean, it has decent bulk and it has some immunities as well, so getting it in isn't an impossibility. And from there, it is nuke, nuke, nuke. I get it, there are some fairy types, it has hyper voice too. Nothing really wants to take it, not even resisted Pokemon, so I have to imagine it's probably one of the first Pokemon gone. Executor Alola is in a similar bulk, but it's a little bit quicker, I believe, and also, while it has a 4-time sickness to ice, it also has some nice resistances and good coverage in Flamethrower. So yeah, dual stab, nuke, so that'll be interesting. Going down in the list, also Caracosta is going to be kind of crazy good in my opinion with Soul Smash. So yeah, but I don't know if it'll be broken. We'll wait and see. Magneton being this tier is crazy. I've seen it in RU and NU a lot this generation, but I digress. It probably won't be broken if things like Stunfisk Galar, Stunfisk are used, I guess. That's kind of my guess. Kind of like the same reason Magnezone might be RU. I don't know. Wait and see though. Okay, there's some Pokemon I could see, but then there's like Suck and Scrafty. Like, oh my goodness, in ZU, the bottommost tier alongside Toxicroak. Wow, that's ludicrous. Tauros, Pokemon that broke NU. And we go down the list. I mean, yeah, there's just a lot of. I mean, the Vanillux and Aurus line. That's crazy. So, in conclusion, ZU is just gonna be like crazy. I don't even know where to begin. I don't know where to end. I don't know if it'll end. Wow. Well, this has sure been something. Please like, comment, subscribe if you guys enjoyed. Hope you all having a happy new year. And thanks so much for watching. Be sure to check out the Twitter if you guys want to be in touch, or the Discord if you guys want to chat. We've got over 800 people chilling on the server. It's a really great place to be. Always talking about Mons and other stuff, you know. Just a place where I'm pretty active. If you guys want to chat anytime, I really try and be down to earth and interact with you guys as much as I can. And I'll try and do so in the comments as well. So let me know your thoughts, please, because I don't know what to make of this situation. This is unprecedented. Like, I do not compute with this. So, yeah, no, lots going on. Let me know your thoughts. Everyone have a great day. Happy New Year. And thanks so much for supporting me last year. And I'm hoping for even more support in the coming years. My goal is to kind of pick up on a bit of a lethargic subscriber pace. We haven't really gained many subscribers. It's been like 100, 200 a month for the last couple months. I've been really trying to get 6K for a while now. So hopefully we don't only hit 6K, but we maybe hit, we get close to the 10K this year. That'd be amazing. And then keep growing the channel. I don't really have any plans on stopping this anytime soon. I'm really motivated for YouTube. So yeah, thank you guys so much. And I hope you all have a great day. All right. Bye, guys. Talk to you later.